so now I can talk for a little bit because I got lidocaine and a painkiller so I can actually sleep finally. But with that comes drama, like usual.
Bartholomew, what are you doing?
Welcome. That was a quick join. That pain. So I went to the freaking hospital and I got a prescription for some kind of mouthwash to go along with the muscle, no, what is it? The antibiotic and the ibuprofen. And I used the mouthwash. I waited 30 minutes, as it said, before I went to go because the pain didn't go away. Um, like the pain started getting worse and worse and worse. So I started putting the cold water, shocking my nerve again in my mouth, and then basically all that pain it went boom right in my head. So if I didn't go to the hospital today, I was screaming and crying into a freaking pillow. It was bad. But that's the update. I didn't I didn't think that this tooth was going to be any different than the other one because I was able to rip this thing out. I was able to pull that one out. But so I went to the hospital again today and I ended up getting relaxers as well as um, painkillers. I think it's five. I have five painkillers. So five emergency situations where if I'm dealing with that much pain again.
Michael,
Yep.
what did they give you prescriptions for?
They gave me oxycodone
Okay.
and muscle relaxer
And an antibiotic?
and no something that like I don't have to take that I shouldn't take ibuprofen while I'm taking it. It's like the same effect. It's
Okay.
anti-inflammatory. So yeah, anti-inflammatory.
Did they call them in, or do you have physical prescriptions?
These are pickup. Yeah, it says pickup. So I don't know what the last one was, but it says the same thing as the last one.
Does it have a place? Because once
Yeah, the
that
same
stuff
place.
they shot you with wears off, then
They didn't give me a shot this time.
or whatever they gave you, whenever it wears off, you're going to need the others. You're going to be right back to square one if you don't get those filled.
Well, it's at the same place.
Okay.
The same exact place, same writing.
Can I have the packet?
Yeah. If you wanted to get it, that would be helpful. But
Yeah,
what
you're gonna. If you don't have the oxycodone, you're gonna be right back to square one.
But I also don't want to rely on it, so I'll use it when it does hit me like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate all your help, Major. This is like,
They got you 5 of them, so that's fine.
yeah, that'll get me through to get an appointment to go fixed. So we got some help today from people I didn't think like were gonna actually help me. So that's a good thing. I thought I was mending bridges in a way. But yeah, I got a painkiller and I got lidocaine. Yes, they gave me lidocaine while I was there. But my brain has been deteriorating because I've been like severe pain. Like I've been just like yelling into a pillow, like, this hurt so much, and it's probably gonna hurt again. But hopefully I'll be able to sleep. I haven't been able to sleep. I've been like going. I've been putting salt water in my mouth, and I go to sleep and I wake up 40 minutes later. So in the last 2 days, I've slept maybe a total of like 6 hours, maybe five total. It sucks. But I've called 7 different places to try to get my teeth fixed, and it's like impossible to get any actual help from the system. The system's broken. I went into the hospital. Listen to this shit. I had to like demand them to be able to treat me for the pain, and I had to ask for lidocaine. Like you go into a place and you got mouth pain, and you're like, hey, look, I'm dying here from all this pain, and they don't even think to give you lidocaine. I had to tell them to get lidocaine. That's how incompetent these people that are in power are. It's insane. And then what is it? I was told to ask for a social security or a social worker so I could talk to them about, just the whole deal. See if I can get some work into Medicaid. And I've asked this multiple times when I went to a hospital, and each time they always tell me there's nothing they can do, it's just referral. But other people seem to think that they're going to actually do that, and it's because that's what they do for women, that's what they do for super old people, that's what they do for kids, that's what they do for everybody except for me. Middle-aged white person, hell no. White middle-aged white dude, hell no. Middle-aged white chick, definitely they'll help her. But this system has completely fucked over middle-aged white dudes. They took all that free money. They didn't do anything with it. But I did manage to get a recording of it. The lady trying to, she's like assessing my level of rudeness. I'm like, is your job to help me, or is your job to assess how rude I am? And she's just like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, you're getting paid for this. In my head, I'm like, yeah, you're saving lives. That's amazing. But like, she didn't even offer lidocaine for somebody with severe mouth pain. They gave me the pill before they gave me the lidocaine, which I did actually ask for the pill this time. I was like, I need something for the pain immediately. Took them an entire half an hour to give me that pill. But besides that, you would think first thing would be get that person lidocaine because they got some problem with their mouth. But it's been hell. And once I'm out of the situation, I give credit to absolutely everybody who deserves credit. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be talked about. A lot of things that didn't have to happen. Um, you know, a lot of stuff that didn't need to happen. But wish me luck. And once I'm out of the situation, if I can get out of the situation, I'll go save the planet. But I got a limited amount of time where I can talk. So while I still can talk, I'm going to talk while I still can. I think that's it. That was insane though. Like I used this mouthwash stuff. Look. I got this mouthwash stuff, and it's supposed to. It's antibacterial, right? And that killed me because it dug right into the root. Like this issue is right down to the root. So that's what I'm up against right now. A lot of pain. So the nurse told me not to take this anymore because of the amount of pain it gave me. And I'm like, so what do I do? It's so confusing. I get conflicting messages. If somebody wanted to help me, they could have helped me by working out the conflicting messages I'm getting from doctors. If you want to buy me a coffee, go to buymeacoffee/Godfinger. You can buy me a coffee if you like. Maybe help me get my tooth pulled. But I don't want poor people to do that. You know? Yeah, I never wanna take money from poor people. So I heard something to the effect of apparently Israel actually owns its oil. So like the people of Israel get to have ownership of like the oil. And here in America, we're forced to go sell our oil. So there's a lot of like this messaging that hasn't been put out there yet. But at the same time, does it really matter at the end of the day? I don't know.
Michael, that pharmacy closes at 7 and it opens
Oh.
back up at 11, so I can go get them tomorrow morning.
All right. I mean, it's like I said, it's whatever it is. I appreciate it. I should probably grab ibuprofen before that becomes a problem. I'm like 4. But yeah, and then I'm sitting there waiting for help, and all I hear them doing is talking about vacation and talking to the patients that are there, laughing about the patients coming back to the place. Like it's an emergency room. I'm not sitting there laughing, yay, I'm in the emergency room and I plan on doing this again the next week. You know what I mean? But there's literally people that are doing that. And they're actually like, yay, like how can you have a crisis and then be like, yay, yeah, I love going to the hospital. There's people that are going to the hospital, getting treated, being a drain on the system, and those are the people that shouldn't be getting that kind of help. Somebody goes in, they get the sniffles. They didn't even bother trying to drink some orange juice or something. They go in there for with the sniffles. This COVID shit really blew everything up. Finding out with what Fauci did is absolutely insane. Fauci, that fucking liar. We did not fund gain of function. We funded the the addition of function given to a virus so that it would infect other things so we could make vaccines to combat it before it mutated into that. It's like insane. So if you physically mutate a virus to be infective for a human, and you expect that that's the variant that would come out if that virus did gain function, that doesn't add up, does it? It's not the same virus. It's not the same variant. So making a vaccine for something that doesn't have that function yet, that isn't compatible with the genes, in the case of something that is, it affects bats, shouldn't affect humans. We need to get back to talking about COVID again and pointing that issue out. My brain's all mixed up now. I'm dealing with so much pain. So I'm gonna try to lay down and go to sleep. And I might even leave my live on. But let me get some sleep while I still can. Yeah, I was quite smart. If if I hadn't been disrupted, then everything that I was fighting for and working for would have come through. It's pretty dumb to say that you got tools to finish a job, but you don't actually have those tools. I did get a nice pack. Throw this in the freezer. No, I was making plenty of money before this situation, and I just didn't have access to a shower. I wouldn't call that stupid. Back in the day, people had access to showers. They go just ask a neighbor, "Hey, use a shower?" Well, that as well as the second Social Security number I had, that fucked me. So if I hadn't been given a second Social Security number, then none of this would have happened. None of this. I was given a second Social Security number when I tried to get benefits for seasonal work, because I was seasonal working for this job, coming back every year. Basically, I went to go live in a car at the same time. I wasn't receiving any benefits, and because I didn't put the right Social Security number in. So I put in my other Social Security number, the one that doesn't apply. So that's really how I got in the situation. I was pretty much out clear, free. I was living out in the snowstorm in a car, but I was fine, except for the fact that I didn't have food. I didn't need a shower back then. I was fine. I hadn't been bit by a spider yet, you know? But I'm going to go back to one of my old lives. I'm going to clip out that story, that specific story. I think I laid it out pretty well. It's like 3 or 4 lives ago. I explained how it happened, what happened, how did I get here. Very well. I usually don't ask for painkillers, but this time I had to. It was just that bad. I remember almost leaving. My body was covered in a full rash. Been bit by a spider. I had spots on me from, breakouts. And the hospital literally tried to. They were gonna let me leave without antibiotics. That's how broken the system is. They were gonna let me just sit there and suffer in that hospital with no pain medication, nothing. But not even lidocaine at the least. You would think that would be the first thing. Oh, they're coming in for dental work? Are they coming in because of a dental problem? We don't deal with dental. Okay, but you guys have lidocaine, right? I had to special request that. And then I look at the paperwork and it had only one thing of medication on it. I had to request a freaking second prescription, an updated version of it. Totally crazy. The system's broken. All right, I'm gonna go play around with my $2 on Solana. I'm gonna try to get a coin to pump 10x or something, right? Wish me luck. I've been playing on Solana recently. You got is it Farmtown? You got a new token, Farmtown. So that if you guys haven't checked it out, if you're into crypto gaming, check out farmtown.online. And you'll find a new crypto game that just came out a few days ago. New coin, unverified, not financial advice. But if you're already into crypto gaming, I would be checking out. Get Phantom Wallet and use the browser. Type in farmtown.online. Anyways, wish me luck. Hopefully I'll have something good to provide you guys finally at some point.